What's up squad, my name is Yeso and welcome back to the channel. I am pretty excited about this video because if you play a mage type character or you want to start one, you are going to love this guy. This can be done both on Skyrim Special Edition and on the original Skyrim, and it's 100% legit. You don't need to use any glitches in order to do this. So first I'll be showing you guys how to get Azidal's Ring of Necromancy and Azidal's Ring of Arcana. And then after you've got these rings, I'll show you two possible builds that are both super powerful and really fun. As you can see, one of them is a Destruction Mage build and the other is a Necromancer. The Fire Mage can easily put out over 3000 damage just using spells, but the Necromancer is hilariously fun to play and very unique as well, but the Necromancer does take quite a while to set up. But first guys, let's actually get these two unique rings. So to acquire them, we must come here on the map to Solstein. If you don't know how to get to this place, check out the link below in the description for a quick guide on how to do that. Once you have arrived on the island though, you're going to want to come here on the map, southeast from Raven Rock, to Kolbjorn Barrow. Once you do arrive here, you will find a dark elf named Raylus, and he'll just be mining the area. If you talk to him, you'll actually be able to start a quest and pay him 1000 gold to hire a mining team to explore this tomb that's been covered in ash from the eruption of the Red Mountain. Now please note guys, in total you will need 6000 gold to get both of these unique rings. If you don't have 6000 gold, just check my easy unlimited gold guide down below in the description. So once you've paid the man the initial 1000 gold, you're going to want to leave the area, and I suggest fast travelling just west to the old Attius farm. Once here you're going to want to wait 3 days. It's important that you wait here for 3 days, because otherwise the courier that starts the next part of the quest may not actually appear for you straight away. So after you've waited for 3 days, we must then travel back to Raven Rock, just here on the map. I suggest the best way of doing this is just to walk over to Raven Rock from the farm. But as soon as you enter through the city gates, the courier will appear and give you a letter.
Let's see here. Got this from a pretty excited looking dark elf around Raven Rock. He said it was important I got it to you as soon as I could. Looks like that's it. Got to go.
Now we're just going to head back over to the Barrow dig site and talk to Raylus again. It turns out that all the miners have been slaughtered by a bunch of Draugr within the tomb. So just head inside the tomb and wipe them all out. It should be pretty easy for you to do. Once you're done killing all the Draugr, you'll need to pick up this bloody skull from the altar, just positioned here in the centre of the room. This will then open a spinning door to the next area. So once you've activated this door, just go back and speak to Raylus again. He will now request 2000 gold from you to hire some more miners, because obviously the previous ones just got wrecked by Draugr. So once again we're just going to pay the man and travel back to the farm and again wait 3 days. And just like before guys, we're going to walk back to Raven Rock and receive another letter from the courier.
This should be interesting.
I've been looking for you. Got something I'm supposed to deliver.
So once again, head back to the Barrow and clear out all the Draugr. This time though guys, you'll be able to find the first hidden ring. So from the altar where we found the blooded skull, head straight onwards. We must now do the first puzzle. I already killed most of the Draugr just to make this easier to watch, but head down through this door and pull the chain at the end here. That will open a door to your right. So head through to your right and pull this next chain here on the left. This will then open a door behind you. The next puzzle gets a little bit harder. So you'll find all these levers here and we must pull these levers in the right combination. From the top to the bottom, pull 1, 2, 4, and then go back up to 1 again, and this will open the next set of doors. Now head straight on through and defeat the Draug. Once they're dead, you'll find another handle which is hidden by your feet behind this wall here. So just pull it and it will open a secret door behind you, where you will find the first ring, Azadal's Ring of Necromancy, just here on the plinth. Please note that if you can't find it, it will probably be on the floor. It might have fallen off when someone casted a spell or something. So now we have our first ring, and in my opinion, the lesser of the two. I'll show you how to use it after we get the last ring though. So next, we need to go outside again and speak to Raylus. We will only need to pay him another 3,000 gold in order to get the final unique ring. So that's 6,000 gold we've paid him now in total. So once paid, head over to the farm again and wait another 3 days. And then just walk over to Raven Rock one last time to receive another note from the courier.
Another letter from Raylus. He's starting to scare me a little.
And this note's going to instruct us to head back to the barrow, and he will once again tell you to help him killing all the Draug. So we're just going to head back inside and take them all out. Once again guys, from the altar, we're just going to head back through the dungeon to where we found the previous ring. And then retrace your steps down the stairs to where we did the first lever puzzle. And you'll find that there's now an unlocked iron door that has been excavated. So open this iron door and head downwards into the depths of the dungeon. You will find a room with lots and lots of pressure pads. While this does look quite confusing, don't worry, it's not. It's probably the most meat-headed puzzle in Skyrim. All you need to do is literally just walk on all the pressure pads, so they're all glowing like I am in the video. Once they're all glowing, this door will open, and Azadal's Ring of Arcana can be found within this small chamber here on the plinth. For me though, it actually fell off the plinth during the battle, and this sometimes does happen. So you'll still find it, it will just be underwater around here. Also guys, make sure you grab this hidden coin purse while you're in this underwater section. So now you have Azadal's Ring of Arcana and Necromancy. So let's take a look at why these two rings are so good. We're going to start off with the Ring of Arcana, and if you know what you're doing, this is the most powerful spell in the entire game. While wearing this ring, you can also equip and cast two unique secret spells, both Ignite and Freeze. Let's start with the Ignite spell first, because this is the bread and butter of this setup. So the Ignite spell is only an apprentice level spell, which means that you can get it very early on in the game and still use it. It only costs you 30 magicka to cast, which is stupidly cheap compared to some of the expert fire spells that do similar amounts of damage. The Ignite spell also has an enormous range of 469 feet. The effect of the Ignite spell does sound pretty crappy. A blast of flame that sets fire to the target, dealing 4 points of fire damage for 15 seconds. So ESO, how can we make this better? Well, open up your destruction perk skill tree and invest 2 perk points into the Augmented Flame spell. And it is very important that you do this first. And just trust me guys. So this perk is going to give us plus 50% more damage with fire spells, which means we now do 6 damage per second instead of 4. Yes, I know it still sounds really bad. But now, here comes the secret little trick. And I'd just like to say thank you to the Reddit user, Legomania89, who posted this Reddit post and pointed this out to me over 3 years ago about how this works. So we now need to go into our illusion skill tree, and we need to get the Aspect of Terror perk. And I know you think I'm probably crazy, but actually, if you look, Aspect of Terror says it only affects fear spells, but the fire spells actually count as fear spells as well. So this means that Ignite will now do 21 damage per second, which is actually pretty good now. So now when you cast the spell on somebody, it does 21 damage per second for 15 seconds. So that's a total of 315 damage. But we can also get the dual cast perk as well, also found in the destruction skill tree. This will make you do 42 damage per second now, meaning you can do 630 damage in total while dual casting the ignite spell. Oh, what's that you say? That's not enough damage, ESO? Well, did I mention that this effect actually stacks? So if you cast 4 ignite spells into an enemy, which should take you about 2 seconds because it has a cast charge time of 0.5 seconds. Well, cast those 4 spells into like a giant or something, and you'll be doing 168 damage per second to them, which means you'll do a total of 2,520, which is enough to kill most anything in the game on legendary difficulty very, very easily. Literally, all you're doing with this spell is just stacking up damage over time effects, and then watching their health melt away. And if you want even more damage, you can also equip Azidal's Dragon Mask, which will give you plus 25% more damage to your fire spells. And if you don't know where to get this, guys, just check out the link in the description. But that's now a total damage of 3,150 fire damage while wearing the mask. And you can also add more enchanted gear on to boost your fire damage even more, but I think I'll save that for my full build guide, which you can find a link to down below in the description as soon as it comes out. And make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it when it does come out. So this ignite spell trick is broken. You can easily kill dragons, giants, and even the hardest bosses in the game, such as the Ebony Warrior, with little to no effort at all. So for our next trick, let's take a look at the other effects that Azidal's Ring of Arcada gives us. The Freeze spell. Now this spell is not so much meant for damage, but more sort of meant for utility, because the utility it gives your character is pretty incredible. So the Freeze spell has the exact same range, 469 feet, the same cast time, 0.5 seconds, and magicka cost of only 30 points as the ignite spell. The spell effect basically fires an ice spike that does 20 points of frost damage to health and stamina, and also slows the target for 15, yes that's right, 15 seconds. So they're going to be slowed for 15 seconds. And you can also stack that slow effect even higher the more spells you cast at them. So the main appeal of the frost spell is that it's really cheap, and it also applies a 15-second slow. So it's rather useful in addition with the ignite spell as well, which means you can fire the frost spell at your enemies to slow them while you do damage over time to them at the same time. But considering the ignite spell is just so damn powerful, it kind of deems this spell almost useless to use with it. But if you do want to use the frost spell though, you can still be quite effective. Just get the augmented frost perk and also the dual casting perk from the destruction skill tree in order to increase the damage of the spell from 20 to 60 damage while dual casting. If you also get the impact perk, you'll find that every single frost spike you dual cast will make your opponent get staggered. This can make it absolutely insane as a very cheap defensive spell that stops somebody from getting close enough to you to hurt you, and also slowly whittles down their health, as you can see in the video. But the thing is, it's nowhere near as good as the ignite spell, so unless you're doing this for like a frost themed character, there's no point in wasting your perks in the frost tree when you could just get the flame perked and do so much more damage. Lastly though, that brings me on to Azidal's Ring of Necromancy. This particular gem is really only going to be useful if you use it in quite a specific way. The ring, when worn, will make any creatures or people that you've reanimated explode when they take damage for a total of 50 frost damage to anything that's near them. This really isn't that effective unless you use my ultimate necromancer build guide. My necromancer build shows you how to create your very own army of undead followers. And you don't need any mods or anything to do this, it just takes a little while to get all the items you need to set it up. So this build is basically set up to allow you to repeatedly use the ritual stone power in order to resurrect all the dead corpses here. So firstly, you need to put Azadal's Ring of Necromancy on. It's really important you do that first. And then secondly, we're just going to resurrect the dead. Now all these zombies that we've just resurrected are effectively ticking time bombs. If one dies, they will all explode like a chain reaction. Or alternatively, you can just activate the ritual stone power again in order to make them all blow up at once. And then once they're all dead, you can activate it again to resurrect them all, and then also resurrect the people that you killed with the explosion. And then you can activate it again to make an even bigger explosion, and you can just repeatedly do it over and over, and it's just the most overpowered thing in the entire game. When you come up against a particularly difficult enemy, just put on Azadal's Ring of Necromancy to activate the effect. Then your army will just start exploding as it takes damage. It's mainly just really funny to do. I had lots of fun doing this, but realistically your undead followers will probably do more damage if you just leave them alive to normally attack your foes instead. But that's not as fun as having an army of kamikaze Imperials, let's be honest. You can check out my Necromancer build guide down below in the description if you want to try this out for yourself though. But if you're not sure on what you want to do, I would suggest just giving Azadal's Ring of Necromancy to your follower. So for example, a follower like Serena or any other follower that uses the reanimate spell will also benefit from that exploding effect of the ring. This can be really useful because often your follower will reanimate weak enemies that die in like one hit anyway. So they might as well explode to do even more damage when they die. Wow, that was a long video where ESO talked for quite a long time. If you did get to the end, I offer you my hand in a virtual handshake. And if you did enjoy the video, please do hit that subscribe button and also press the little bell icon next to it, because that will ensure that you get notified whenever I release a new daily Skyrim video guide. You can also follow me on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, and the links for that are down below in the description. I always post my latest ideas and thoughts on there, so you guys know what I'm doing before I even do it. But thank you very much for watching me, ESO, and I will see you guys, loyal subscribers, in the next Skyrim video. So have a fantastic day, and goodbye.